Good morning, good morning. My name is Dr. Karen Anita Gaynor, aka Lady Karen. So, anyway, I'm getting ready to get my walk done this morning. Excuse my voice. Sorry, my allergies have been kicking in and stuff, so sorry about the voice. Anyway, I was wanting to see my neurosurgeon because I have some difficulty with my walking. The walking is what made me know that something was wrong in the first place back in 2012, 2013. And I met a neurosurgeon after seeing many doctors who blew me off. I spent over $30,000 with having insurance, while having insurance in 2012, to figure out what was happening to me. I was waking up with headaches and pain that I never had before. But I did have an accident 6 years before that, and I was working in pain already and opened up my practice in pain, was doing a lot of education to my patients and treating my patients. Anyway, cut a long story short, over the years, the neurosurgeon has moved to different locations. Every now and then I track him down to see him again. He's not the one who actually did my surgery. He referred me to the University of Miami to get my surgery done. And I ended up with a 12-hour surgery where they cut my back right here and they removed the backbone and went into the spinal cord canal to do a spinal cord surgery. So I've had a surgery on the spinal cord where they removed this an arachnoid cyst off of the spinal cord, and then they untethered it because it was stuck on each other. And then what they did was to close that they weren't able to put bone back in my back, so they put a metal rod in my back, a titanium rod. So I still go through a lot of discomfort just having the rod alone in my back. But apart from that, I still have some difficulty with the walking, to the point where I'm putting on a lot of weight. I put on like 30-40 pounds over the past 2 years or so, and that's a lot of weight. And the weight has been putting a lot of toll on my feet. So between the walking and the weight, I'm going through a cycle where I'm in pain. And so anyway, I had some new MRIs done in about July, and I don't trust the reading because the same people who did my MRIs in the past did not read them correctly. And the surgeon and I went through that. He saw like about 3-4 different facilities did not read my MRI properly. So I've had some new MRIs done from the thoracic spine and lumbar spine, and I want him to review it. So I find this surgeon, and they finally called me back from the office, or I finally get through, and she tells me that the visit costs over $600. Now, there were a lot of mix-up in my care, and I wanted to figure out who caused what, or who can I sue for what. And, nobody caused any of the problems, so it was not any malpractice involved. There might have been negligence, but or people, who just ignored that I was sick, but they were referring me along to different people. And what I kept doing was going to new neurologists, new orthopedic, new people, because nobody could figure out what's going on. So I see this surgeon, he reviews my MRI, and he shows me that all these people misdiagnosed me and missed out on my system, my spinal cord. And so he referred me to UM, and I had the University of Miami who reviewed my records, and I had to wait for months to see them. So I finally got in after months to see them, and finally got this surgery done, which was a 12-hour surgery down there. So there were two teams of doctors who worked on me down there, the neurosurgeon and the orthopedic team. But because of insurance, I wasn't able to see them at the University of Miami anymore, because my insurance was not accepted anymore. I wasn't able to get my scans of my spinal cord anymore at their facility, even when I wanted to pay cash. There were times I wanted to pay out of pocket just to stay with the same doctor, and they said that it was against the law, that once I have Medicare or any insurance, they can't charge me cash. So the laws and rules need to change. There's a lot of people that's still walking around without insurance, even though there's Obamacare or healthcare, the Affordable Care Act that exists. Is the process that's involved to get the insurance, or even if you don't get it or get it, there are tax penalties involved. And President Trump tried to change that and tried to reduce all of those things or remove those things, but President Trump didn't replace it, and he didn't make it better. So there's still a lot of people without insurances out there. There's still people like me who still want to see certain doctors who don't like Obamacare or don't want to take those types of plans because they don't get paid it adequately, or they have to bill and wait for the insurance to pay. I've been through it as a doctor, and now I'm going through it as a patient. When there was a lot of mix-up, like I mentioned earlier, with my care, there was a lawyer who told me to go to a neurologist to get assessed, and the neurologist did charge me over $600 at the time, and I had to pay it out of cash when I was, struggling to pay bills, and still am, because I don't work, so I have to watch my money, and I have only but certain amount I get from my disability, because I work, but only a certain amount over the past 2 years. So, cut a long story, we really need to protect Social Security, protect disability, and improve healthcare. That's really the main thing why I'm doing this video, and I really want you to share my video and make it go viral, because basically these costs from the doctor's office are ridiculous too. $600 and odd, almost $700 for a visit is too much money. When I used to charge $100, people didn't want to pay it. When I charged $200 for a physical, including blood work, people didn't want to pay me. When I used to charge $50 for a visit when Medicaid wasn't paying for more than 2 visits a month, and I want to charge the people $50, they would complain and disrespect me and all of these things, and I still write them off. When people owed $2 co-pay, they didn't want to pay it. And they would come in with their nice jewelry, their nice cars, and some of them look like they were selling drugs on the street or coming in purpose to get pills to sell back and all of these things. So, people try to manipulate me in many ways, and they try to use us in many ways in the offices, the doctor's offices. So we do go through a lot with patients in general. It doesn't matter what insurance plan they have. So people are there abusing the system, and people are getting things that they shouldn't be getting because they do make money or are able to work and so forth. So, so that's just the system. So I've been involved in politics for a while and been voting for Democrat for a while. It doesn't mean that I agree with everything that they do, but right now I think that the Democrat is the way to go. Because Trump didn't make any changes to healthcare in the past 4 years, and he kept talking about it, but he didn't do anything about it. That's the main reason. And I'm all for abortion rights, for women's rights, and I'm all for LGBTQ rights and stuff, for same-sex marriage, and for gay rights as well. So with those in mind, for those of you who haven't voted or haven't decided who to vote, think about those issues. Think about those little things when you choose who you want to vote for. All right? And like I say, I would prefer if you vote blue, go Democrat. All right? So remember, it's not just a presidential election that's going on, but remember, the elective part or the executive part of the government or executive branch is just the president and those people under them, like congressmen and senators. That's not the only people we're voting for or have a say in. Remember that there are other people like the judges, the judicial branch that is still that we can vote for. All right, so it's either keeping people in office or changing them as well. So your voice needs to be heard, guys. Remember that your vote is your power. So remember, a lot of people died for this right for you to vote, especially black people, women, young people. If you're 18 and over, remember that you can vote. And a matter of fact, once you're 16 years old, you can register to vote, and then you can vote later on when you're ready. So I got a good sleep last night, and took some medication and stuff in the evening to get some good sleep so I can get my 8 hours. But I don't really sleep 8 hours. I sleep like about 6 hours at a time, and then I get up again because of my pain. 6 hours is long for me, but I'm well rested and feel really great today and ready to start my day. And I just happen to be wearing my blue swimsuit top, sorry, because it's raining, it's drizzling outside a little bit, and I don't want to get too wet, don't want to get too sick out there in the weather either. But I want to take my walk and keep healthy, because that's what I do. I try to keep healthy even with my pain. So right now I'm getting a lot of pain right here, lots of discomfort. It's right below the cut, where the metal rod is where it hurts a lot, just from doing this blogging, from flexing my neck and so. So you guys, please appreciate every single thing that you have in life, because in 1 second your life can change, and your whole life can change and stuff. And living in pain can be very depressing. It can be very miserable. So for those people who go through depression or go through mental issues, remember that you're not alone, that I'm with you in this. I've been through a lot myself, and some days I can't get out of bed. Sometimes I don't want to get out of bed. Sometimes I'm just in pain so much that I have to lay around. But the lying around don't help, and the lying around make it stiffer and make it more depressed, make it more make it more difficult for me to walk, actually. But if I have to rest, I have to rest. That's just how life goes. So so a lot of people see me with a smile and they don't know how I feel when I'm in pain. So I try to keep up with people. I try to get out whenever I can, but sometimes I'm tired. I'm just tired and in pain. So having a chair around, or so, it's nice to have a little chair so I can sit down every now and then, or have somewhere to lean on. But because my feet hurt a lot, so I got an injection in my feet the other day, in my heel, and it's been helping a lot to help me to walk. And I think that steroid in my system kind of increased my appetite and made me a little bit bloated up a little bit more too. So my doctor been keeping an eye on my blood pressure and keeping an eye on things, because the blood pressure been up and down, because the medications make me retain a lot of fluid and made me swell up. I've had a lot of swelling the other day, and the swelling has gone down nicely. So between all of that, I'm following up with my doctors frequently, like almost every week. My primary care doctor, who I don't have to pay. I have no copay. And when I see specialists, I pay $15 for the specialist, or my insurance reduced it to $10 now for the coming year. So in general, good day, Stephen. Good morning. So people like in Germany, all over the world, different parts of the world, are getting better care than us in the United States of America. Canada has universal health care. France, Belgium, I've visited many places all over the world, and we can do better. Jamaica, even Jamaica, even though they're getting help from Cuba. Trump cut off Cuba, but Cuba helps us in Jamaica to provide personnel for medical care. I might have had my little experiences with them in Jamaica, but regardless of all of that, we're getting help in Jamaica from Cubans and other people who work there. So same way like how I came to America to study and to come to school, and I got stuck in America. I'm here as a Jamaican who works in the system, or have worked in the system, to help a lot of people. I help to serve the underserved and people without insurance, and that is the type of work that I've done. So I've taken care of a lot of people, and now it's time to take care of myself. So help me help other people in the same way, by helping to give back, by telling my story. By telling my story, like all of your stories out there, by sharing the story, we can get the news across and get the information across about healthcare and how expensive these doctors are. It's ridiculous, the cost. Okay, I know primary care doctors around town who charge $75. Let's say that's the average fee, $7,500. But when you bill the insurance companies, they jack up the price to $200, $300, $400, $600 for a visit. I've seen that, and I've done that in my office. We've billed hundreds of dollars to the insurance company, but yet we're charging a patient $100, $200 and thing. So I explain all of these things to patients, that we have to bill insurances, and that when we bill insurances, we have to charge you the same thing. And so the patient doesn't understand those things, that when you have an insurance, it's a discount that you're getting. So it's all privatized, and it's all commercial, whether it's government running the Medicare and the Medicaid programs, or the private insurance running the commercial plans. It's all still commercial. It's all corporations. It's still corporate stuff and privately run. So we need it to all be like one. We need everybody to get covered. However, y'all can figure that out. The Democrats and the Republicans need to sit down in the USA and figure this out. Okay? So, big up and respect from the real Dr. G, from Dr. Karen Anita Gaynor, family medicine physician, who's retired from being disabled from spinal cord problems and nerve damage, reflex sympathetic dystrophy, gastroparesis. I've had a spinal fusion. My problems are basically spinal cord issues. And so, I just wanted to educate you guys about my health and about wealth and about saving and how important it is to save and save your money for a rainy day as well, because you never know what tomorrow will bring. So I have my hats in different businesses. I do different investments over the years, and so I want you to help me to share that information as well on my social media, and come down to the Negril Beach Club condos, because taking a break as well is really good for your health as well. If you can travel and think, remember that we're open in Jamaica, because tourism is not doing so well. It's slow. It's really slow. Everything is slow all across the board. Even some of the doctors' offices are slow because they have to limit how many people they're seeing so that they don't crowd up their waiting room. So getting an appointment nowadays for the doctors' offices too have been a bit difficult to get in. So when you can get a vacation, if you have the money and can afford it, come to Jamaica and feel all right. It's COVID compliant, COVID-19. You have to quarantine. You have to stay in the hotel for the 14 days or whatever time. If it's 14 days or less, then you stay in the hotel. But the beach is good for social distancing. You have the salt water there. I love the beach for health and wealth and for healing purposes. The beach is really nice. And the salt water is good for the sinuses, for bugs, for the virus, But seriously though, please pass on the word about healthcare in general, about the USA and healthcare and how it really needs to be improved. Share my video for me. Share, like, comment, and we'll talk some more about healthcare. Let's keep the conversation going, because if we don't talk about certain things, we won't get change. If we do not tell them specifically what we're upset about, then we won't be able to change those things. So we need to still keep we need to protect the pre-existing conditions, because even when you're obese, that's pre-existing condition. So people with diabetes, high blood pressure, spinal cord issues like me, nerve damage issues like me, we would have pre-existing conditions if that didn't change, and they would jack up our prices. Same, so those things need to stay, so that we protect everybody. So with all of those things in mind, think about what you're going to be doing at the polls, because we have election going on when I'm doing this video now, and the election, the last day is November 3rd, and I'm doing this video on October 21st, 2020. Okay, so big up and respect to y'all out there from the real Dr. G. I'm in Florida. It's been raining off and on, so you guys be safe out there. It's been raining like cats and dogs, like really like storm passing by. In the Caribbean Sea, there's been hurricane watcher things going on, storms coming by. So be careful out there when you're driving, especially. Okay, guys, and walk safe, walk good, and keep up the exercise if you can. Do even 30. Even if I'm in pain and I get to like a certain point and I have to turn back, I just want to get out of the house and keep the back moving, because like I said, when I don't move, then it gets worse. All right, so you guys, big up and respect. Thank you guys for all of the support. All right, keep the music coming, keep sharing all of the good news, and let's keep that, because I try to listen to music to distract from the pain, and try to find other things around the house to do to distract from the pain. All right, and that's probably why I've been hurting too, because I've been doing some cooking. I've been it's first in a long time I vacuumed my car, and I was dusting out dusting my mats at the car wash, and it kind of put a toll on my back, the upper back especially. Like anything I do with my upper body, upper arms and so forth, puts a toll on the metal part of my back, and it hurts really bad. It pulls a lot and hurts a lot. So I'm somebody who miss working. I really miss work, and that's one of the depressing things I go through, is that I have all this knowledge that I want to share and to pass along with people. So knowledge is power, but the power is in your vote. The power is in your vote. All right, so pass on the message. Let's not make this too long, because I can talk when I'm ready. All right, so if you want me to talk about anything specifically, message me and let me know what's up, and we keep in touch like that. All right, big up and respect from the real Dr. G, from Lady Karen with love. Love to you all out there. Keep the love, peace, and the unity going, because we need some more unity. Okay? Big up.